question. How many? 5 graders. So at a point, I'll be showing some diagrams from a product. So what I'll do is I'll show you two one paper, and then you two one paper, and you one paper. And explain them all three. Because they're 3 separate people. But yeah, that's what I'll do.
I'm not grading them.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, my name is Linden, and this is my senior project. Well, a little backstory on me. I'm a baseball player. I've been playing since T-ball. Started out on a team called the Yankees. And then, from then on, moved on to the East Brainerd Ironbirds. And we were a force to be reckoned with. There was not many teams that could deal with us. And then from then on, moved to the East Brainerd Mean Green. We faced some teams out in Georgia that were tearing us up. But other than that, we're having fun hitting the ball, learning the game. And then from then on, at the age of 8, I tried out for a team called the Chattanooga Colonels. Made the team, enjoyed it, loved the people. We won 72 games out of 85 that season. And then after that, I was there for 1 year. Then I went to the Chattanooga Cyclones for a year. And let's just say there was more politics than baseball on that team, so I went back to the Colonels. And I was there from ages 10 to 14, or age 10 to 15, excuse me. And then I joined a team called Exposure Baseball. They're one of the most prevalent teams in the state of Tennessee now. And now I'm off to college baseball. I signed with King University last semester, and that's where I'll be in the fall. But back to the Colonels. In the period when we started doing kid pitch, we would always have these tournaments down in Emerson, Georgia, at a complex called Lake Point under the Perfect Game Circuit. And the moment you walk in to the park, there's all these vendors and all these booths. And when you get down to the end of all the vendors, there's this cage right here called the Diamond Kinetic Cage. Has a smart baseball, smart bats, test your swing, test your throw, get better, be a better athlete. And I saw that for about every weekend of the fall for 4 years straight. So it got wired in my brain and led me to my question here: how has technology been incorporated into baseball since its inception? Okay. Why is technology in baseball a relevant thing? Well, as you all know right now, we're in the digital age. When baseball first started, you either knew you were good or you weren't. It was either you can make the throw, hit the pitch, you're good, or you're not. But now there's ways to essentially break down a player and learn every little minute detail about what makes them great. And yes, But first, before I get into the technology, I want to set some things straight about this sport. To the naked eye, baseball is a simple game. False. Not many moving parts. Also false. A slow-paced game. Very false. And seemingly easy. False. This game, if you make one wrong move, you could ruin a play that you've been focusing on and practicing for a very long time. This is not a game of, a lot of sitting around, no matter how much it looks like that when you watch it on the TV. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of training that has come up to be a pro athlete. You don't just wake up one day and decide you want to be a pro athlete. You have to work at it for years. Okay. There's so much more to baseball than you think, and technology helps break down the events that happen throughout baseball. And now I will give some examples of some of the technologies that have been incorporated into pro baseball, going all the way down to Little League baseball. Okay, first thing we have here is the K-zone, which is an arbitrary strike zone that is visualized from a televised set by fans all around the world. Like, as you can see here and here. This television set, and you essentially get to call balls and strikes yourself. Because the box doesn't move, but the pitches might not be in there. And like what this K-Zone does for the fans is essentially it improves the pleasure of watching. It gets viewers more engaged while they're cheering on their team. It allows fans to be a part of the game and debate on pitch calls by the umpire, and gives fans a chance to feel like they're qualified to call pitches more than the umpires. Like, for example, on this picture right here, this is the K-Zone right here, which is the arbitrary strike zone. You see that this circle right here represents where the pitch was landed, like where the catcher caught the ball. You see it's outside of the zone. So if this umpire decided to call it a strike, and you were watching the game, you might lose your mind. And here, there is no K-Zone, but you can see right here that somebody is watching the stats on this iPad while watching the game. Because this person is batting right here, which I just thought was a very cool picture, because I've never seen anybody do that before, or heard of anybody do that, essentially. And next we have StatCast, which shows on-field metrics of the athletes after a play is made, and shows off the incredible feats that professional baseball players do. What this also does is discredits those who think playing this sport is easy. What you see. This is the StatCast right here, some of the metrics that you will be seeing. And if you can already see them, but the metrics that are tracked are how quick your first step is, which is very important to getting to a ball, because if you're slow with a baseball, odds are you're not getting to it. Your max speed to the play, which is self-explanatory, how fast you're moving to the ball. The distance covered on the play, which shows your athleticism. And your route efficiency, meaning if you, the quickest point with the quickest path between 2 points is a straight line. And that's what this is about, the route efficiency. And upon further research, it also can show the miles per hour on the throw that the ball player does on the play. And that's Mookie Betts. He plays for the Red Sox. He is world class as an outfielder. Doesn't miss much. Okay, next we have the radar gun. This reads how hard a player can throw a baseball, and it's a measure tool that recruiters for college and professional athletes use to measure their arm strength. And it essentially separates the boys from the men. Because in baseball, 5 miles per hour is a very big difference between being a college athlete and being a pro athlete. You could be throwing, say, 85 in college and potentially do damage. Whereas if you try to step onto a pro field and do that, you're going to get worked. So, well, from a pro standpoint, this shows absolute athleticism, absolute strength in a player. Like, for example, Yasiel Puig. This is an old picture because this says he plays for the Dodgers, but he traded to the Cincinnati Reds. But he sits at mid-80s, which essentially, mid-90s, which essentially means, on average, his throws in a game will be 95, 96, 97 miles per hour, which all of you drive cars. You see, driving 90 miles per hour is, there's a reason that you can get a ticket for that. It's pretty fast. And he's also topped out at 100 miles per hour. But that is disputed, as is this next person. Aroldis Chapman, plays for the New York Yankees, holds the record for the fastest pitch thrown, which was 105.1 miles per hour. Yes, he can throw it. But in a game prior to the game he recorded at 105.1, he threw on the gun 106 miles per hour. But that's disputed because they feel that the radar gun messed up. But regardless, throwing 105 miles per hour is pretty nice. And the next thing is the hit tracks. What this is essentially a device that can effectively show you you'll be hitting off the tee, and you're effectively getting shown where that ball is landing, like you can see in this picture. With this person, just there's a camera, and it's viewing your swing and showing you essentially where it lands. With this 389 being the feet traveled, and that point right here is where it is. What this also measures, is the exit velocity on the swing, which is essentially how fast your hands are to the ball and how fast the ball jumps off the bat. Too far. I have personally used the hit tracks down at a complex in Marietta, Georgia, called Better Baseball. It's essentially a Dick's Sporting Goods, but strictly baseball. It's probably one of the coolest places I've ever been to as a baseball player. And I enjoyed it very much. Okay, so my product was a baseball batting session with this swing tracker on top of it and what I did was had people take several swings and have the opportunity to be coached on the 3D imagery that is given off from the app, from this smart piece, to effectively get better and be a better athlete. The participants that I used was an 8th grader named Ethan Porterfield from CSAS. He's a right-handed batter. Lexi Miners, left-handed batter from CSAS. He's a junior, plays softball. Javon Anderson, senior, right-handed batter. And old man back here, Quentin Offer, resident senior. Anywho, but okay, so what the piece that I use, and I will demonstrate how it goes on, but the piece that I used was essentially this Diamond Kinetic swing tracker, and it allows a 3D imagery off of any Apple product to analyze completely a batter's swing and effectively see what their bat path is doing and how hard, like there's metrics on this too, such as bat path, exit velocity, distance traveled on the ball, barrel speed, and how fast your hands get to the ball, which is also very important, but I haven't touched on that yet. But, okay, so I'll demonstrate how it goes on. Essentially, all the pieces are this green piece right here. I'll explain it better in a second. And this is the actual swing tracker piece. When put on, it'll pulse green once it's connected to the Bluetooth on the device that you're going to be using. And I will show you how it goes on. Okay, so with this green piece, this big center piece, you're going to stretch it out and put it around the knob of the bat and pull it up as far high as you can, like so. And then you'll put the smart piece in the center of the knob on the top. And on this green piece, there are 2 holes on the sides. And with these pieces sticking out, you will put the hole around the piece to stabilize it so it's not going anywhere. Like so. And now you're ready to swing. And I'll show you Javon Anderson swings with the smart piece on, and I'll show you some of the things that were tracked. I printed those out, and that's what I talked about earlier when I walk around and explain what's happening. But here's Javon Anderson swings.